Today we are going to take a look at the Teen Titans. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So let's get started with our friend Robin, which is probably the character that people know more from the Teen Titans. Although as time goes by, the characters, especially thanks to the cartoon, I'm not sure if the current TV show actually helps the popularity of the team a lot. But the cartoon was a phenomenon. It really did put the Teen Titans on the map in a way that hadn't been seen since pretty much the new Teen Titans when George Perez and Marv Wolfman first recreated the Teen Titans. So here we can see a close approximation of our friend Robin that we can create in DC Universe Online. Sadly, in order to be able to achieve this look, there's a few items that you need, like the boots, or the shoes I should say, come from the Winter Seasonal. So you are going to have to wait for the Winter Seasonal before you can purchase those shoes from the Winter Seasonal vendor. So the shoes are called Santa's Little Helper. Yeah, sadly it would be nice to have the shoes without the little bell, but within the context of DC Universe Online, sometimes you have to make compromises. The belt is the Batman Beyond belt. The shorts are the briefs. The gloves are the slimline fit, I think. The t-shirt is quite simply the t-shirt, the R emblem, the short cape, and the full domino mask. So with all that, we can create a somewhat good looking version of our friend Robin. Would it be better if we could have a t-shirt with like the sleeves green? That would be perfect. I guess one way to fake the green sleeves is to use the Green Arrow shoulders. Or we could use the Red Robin chest piece. There is an actual official Robin set of gear. It's actually a Red Robin set of gear, but we won't play semantics today. It's a pretty cool looking style, so if you've been meaning to create a Robin character, this is probably the style you need. It's a cool looking style, although maybe a bit bulky to my taste, but it's a minor nitpick. The style also comes with the motorcycle helmet, and you even have a nice little emblem in the back of the headpiece if you want to. And obviously this is the enhanced version of the style, but there's also a regular version of the style. Originally, this pretty much was the official Robin style that we had in DC Universe Online, sold by our little friend Robin here. But as you can see, it looks pretty much nothing like Robin. Nowadays, if you want to purchase that style, you have to purchase it from the PvP style vendor. There is also an official Robin belt, but there's any number of belts you could use with pouches around the belt. But if you do want the official Robin belt, this is what it looks like. And it is within the pages of the Teen Titans that our friend Robin became Nightwing. We can recreate a pretty good version of Nightwing, as you can see. I have a video or two about Nightwing if you want to know more. But overall, here we have the Protege chest piece. We have the Gotham Knight mask. I'll show you the official Nightwing set of gear. We do have an official Nightwing set of gear in DC Universe Online. But to recreate the version that I guess a lot of people have been more familiar with, especially during the 90s, this was pretty much it. Except maybe for the, I don't know, even the sticks in the backs, come to think of it. So our friend Nightwing at some point started using dual wielding sticks like our friend Daredevil. Not sure why in the 90s it's as if they wanted to turn Nightwing into DC's version of Daredevil. Oh well. Here we have the Batman Beyond belt. Any slimline pants will do the trick. And of course we have the Gotham Knight back piece, but we'll take a look at the whole style right now. So here we can see the official Nightwing set of gear that we can get in DC Universe Online. The bad news is that it's a PvP set of gear, so in order to be able to get this gear, you will have to play a lot of PvP. At least, you will have to play PvP with one of your characters, and then once you get the style with one character, you can use replay badges to purchase the style with your other characters. If you're really lucky, you could get the style in Prometheum log boxes, but there's like 800 styles in those log boxes, so the odds of getting the one style you need are pretty slim, sadly. And for the face, if you're wondering why I don't have the white eyes anymore, basically this is what the mask actually looks like. In order to be able to get the white eyes, you have to use the full domino mask with the style. So if you do that, then you will get the cool white eyes. So you decide if you want to have the white eyes, just use the full domino mask. And if you don't, then don't. And next we have our friend Kid Flash. This is about as close to Kid Flash as I was able to get within the context of DC Universe Online. And I had to cheat a bit. I had to use like the Vesture or Proselyte headpiece, which has the Indigo emblem and the forehead. But for the shape of the mask, this is about as close to the Wally West mask as I could get. For the chest piece, any number of slimline chest piece will do the trick. The same for the pants. The belt is the Speed Force Spectrum belt. The gloves are the slimline Fin gloves. And the boots are the Flash boots, the official Flash boots. A question that often comes back, how can you get the Flash boots? I have a couple of videos explaining that. And the emblem, here I'm going with the enhanced version of the Flash emblem. It's not exactly the emblem that Wally had, but within the context of DC Universe Online, again, you go for what is as close as you can get. The aura is the sparking aura. Another question that often comes back, how do you get the sparking aura? Sadly at this point, you can only get it from the broker. It's going to be very rare and very expensive. There is a modular version that you can get from the Quarks vendor. I have a video about that, like how to get the free power aura or something like that. If you search in my videos, you should be able to find it easily enough. I'm not going to look at all the incarnations of Kid Flash or even most of the characters, because I don't want the video to be an hour long and to take like 3 days to produce. So let's move on to the next character. And next we have our friend Beast Boy, who can create a pretty decent version of the Beast Boy, as you can see. For the chest piece here, I'm using the T Slimline chest piece. The Slimline chest piece probably would do the trick as well. I'm using the Aeronaut gloves, the Rhino belt, the New Genesis pants, and the Nuclear boots. And obviously, depending on which incarnation of Beast Boy you're familiar with, it's possible that this is as close to the classic version of the character as I was able to get. But odds are, if you saw the cartoons, you probably saw a different version of Beast Boy. Somehow, when they made the Teen Titans cartoons, the color scheme for Beast Boy became black and purple with some gray thrown into it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some technical reason why they went with black and purple instead of white and red. But it could be simply an artistic choice. I guess we'll never know. And next we have our friend Cyborg. We do have actually 2 official set of gear for Cyborg. We'll take a look at those today. This is the first set of gear called the Cybernetic. It's actually just a style, it's not a set of gear. And it's a style that you can get from Prometheum lock boxes. Sadly, the odds of getting the style in the boxes are very slim. Odds are you are going to have to purchase the style from the broker. I know a lot of you guys don't like it when I say that, but for some styles, just trying to get them, like basically, if you wait to get the style from Prometheum lock boxes, you'll never get the style. If you really want to have the style, you will have to purchase it from the broker. It's sad, but that's how it is. For the aura, I went with the mechanized aura. For a technical kind of guy, I thought it made some sort of sense. Although I'm not too crazy about the colors or the textures that we have on our Cyborg style, on our Cybernetic style. So I thought we could use maybe some materials to try to bypass that restriction. The first one would be the Caregiver's Chroma. Here we have the opalescent material, which is not bad. But sadly, it kind of covers, basically materials covers everything. And here you can see it covers the eyes of the character. So we lose the shiny bit in the eye, or even the shiny bit in the forehead or in the chest piece. So I kind of like the look it gives the character, but I kind of hate the fact that we lose the shiny bits. Although the opalescent material is a bit challenging and expensive to get, so you may decide to go with the silver material instead. The silver material works well enough, and I find it much better than the textures of the material, the textures of the original style itself. And the other official Cyborg style we got is the Bionic style. Actually, this is an official set of gear that you can purchase from the Teen Titans vendor. So if you go right next to the portal for Teen Titan Island, you will see a vendor that will sell you this style. There's a regular version and an enhanced version. Sadly, I only have the regular version because I'm a bit of a slacker pumpkin eater. But also, I have a billion materials, so I can pretty much recreate any enhanced version that I like. So here we have the style with the caregiver chroma, which I kind of like. Again, we have the opalescent material, which looks good, but sadly, we kind of lose the eye of the character, like the eye and the shiny bits in the forehead. That pretty much disappears with that material. And again, if you find the opalescent material too expensive or too difficult to get, the silver material works well enough. There's the blue metallic chroma that I kind of like. It does make the suit looks like metal. But it moves a bit away from our friend Cyborg. And as you can see, there's a lot of blue in the style, obviously. If we could have like this material, but only one color, it would probably be perfect. But even like this, it's pretty awesome. It's a minor nitpick. Next, we have our friend Roy Harper. Someone asked for a Roy Harper style some time ago. So today's the day of days. So here we are. Obviously, it shouldn't be a Robin cap, but I couldn't find a hat that kind of looked like the hat that our friend Roy Harper was using. I guess we could go for the hood. In some animated version, that's actually what they did. They gave a hood to our friend Roy Harper. At some point, he became Red Arrow. Basically, they pretty much made him Green Arrow, but in red. Here I made a mishmash of the Huntress style, the Green Arrow style, and probably a few other things to sort of recreate the Red Arrow from the comic. It's not exactly it, but it's close enough. And then at some point, he became Arsenal. I couldn't really recreate the Arsenal look. But I thought this doesn't really look like Arsenal did, but it's close enough to evoke, like especially with the bionic arm. At some point, someone had the great idea to chop off his arm and give him a cybernetic arm. And in DC Universe Online, this is the closest thing I could find to kind of evoke the cybernetic arm of Arsenal, if it makes sense. And then you put him all red, give him the archer chest piece and belt. Pretty much any slimline pants. For the boots, here I'm using the nuclear boots, but there's quite a handful of boots you could use. The same with the quiver. There's a handful of quivers we could use in this universe online to recreate our friend Arsenal. Sadly for Roy Harper, this was not sure why they decided to go and literally destroy that character. Oh well. And then at some point we got the new 52, and we got the infamous Roy Harper with the trucker hat. And sadly, this is about as close to Roy Harper as I was able to get, at least a new 52 version of it. So this look is not exactly it, but within the context of DC Universe Online, this is pretty much as close as I got. And next we have our friend Donna Troy, which sadly is a bit of a mess. Somehow the creative teams have been trying to reinvent her for at least 40 years, and never really works, at least, or when it works for a short while, and then someone comes along and decide to reinvent the character once more. This is a pretty good look for our friend Donna Troy. There is an official Donna Troy set of gear, which is called the Dystopian Amazon. That's what the pants and the belt come from. I wish I could have the chest piece. Sadly, the chest piece right now is like 50 million on the broker. Sorry, I'm not going to spend 50 million just to make this video. So we settle with an approximation of our friend Wonder Girl. For the bracers, I went with the Shazam bracers. The emblem is the Wonder Woman emblem. She didn't really... actually, she did, I think, on her belt or something. This Wonder Woman emblem, sadly, is the BVS Wonder Woman emblem, which was only available for a short while, way back when the BVS movie was released. But for the belt and the pants, I went with the Dystopian Amazon belt and pants. The boots, the Dr. Midnight boots, but any number of boots would do the trick. So this is somewhat close to our friend Donna Troy, around the time of the new Teen Titans when George Perez and Marv Wolfman relaunched the series. And next we have Raven. It wasn't too difficult to reproduce that look. Although I'm not using, there's an official Raven headpiece. I'm not using it. The hood works well enough. I just don't have the Raven headpiece with this character, and I didn't want to spend 35 replay badges just for that. Especially seeing how the hood works well enough. For the chest piece, I went with the short sleeve slimline. The shorts are the reverse slimline. For the belt, I went with the Miraculous belt, and I covered it with the gold material. The gloves are the formal gloves. The shoulders are the Magic's champion. The cape is the classic cape. And the boots are the clean cuffed boots. So we can create, and of course the emblem is the official emblem, the official Raven emblem. Although technically Raven doesn't have an emblem. She probably should look more like this. But the emblem looks nice enough that I thought, why not use it? And then we have Starfire. I couldn't really find a chest piece that looks like Starfire, so I went with the closest I could find. Again, for the bracers, I'm using the Shazam bracers, the Magic's champion. The belt is the vesture. I probably should show it. The belt is the vesture of Proselyte. The boots are the Themyscirian battlesuit. Again, I'm using the reverse slimline shorts and the reverse slimline chest. And of course, if you want to recreate Starfire, you will have to use the orange smokescreen movement style. You have to. So it kind of almost works to recreate the flame trail that she leaves behind her when she flies. Although there is an official hairstyle for Starfire, you can get it from the Teen Titans vendor. It looks more like the new 52 version. I kind of prefer the classic version, but this version looks fine. But sadly, whenever it comes to designs, I'm sure you guys know by now, I kind of prefer the classics. But sadly, especially lately in DC Universe Online, they've been going more with more modern styles. Once in a while, we will get a classic styles, but usually they'll try to get the more modern styles that the character have lately. It's to be expected, sadly. Next, we have Aqualad. One of you guys asked me about a Garth Tempest video. I guess this is going to be as close as you're going to get for now. So for the chest piece, I'm using the Mirror chest piece. Although any slimline chest piece would do the trick. It's just that I'm using the Mirror chest piece to get the scales, the fish scales for the look. But there's all those weird lines that should not be on the style. But sadly, there's no choice. Either you use their style or you don't. For the belt, I'm using the King of the Sea belt. There are probably one or two other options I could use, but this is the one I went with. For the shorts, it's the briefs. The gloves are the trim classic gloves. The boots are the tall classic boots. And it gives us a pretty cool looking version of our friend Aqualad. This is about as close to the classic version of the character as I'm able to get. And obviously, you have to use the bubble movement style. You have to. There's no other option. But the thing that really was requested was Garth when he was Tempest. At some point, I guess people didn't know what to do with Aqualad. Probably thought that Aqualad was a bit silly as well, so they decided to reinvent the character and call him Tempest. And also, I think that's at the time when they started giving it a whole bunch of hydrokinetic powers, where basically he could control water. The style is quote-unquote somewhat challenging to recreate because the Tempest style was very asymmetrical. The only style I could think of to be able to recreate the asymmetrical look of our friend Tempest was the botanical style. Obviously, it should not be flowers, but within the context of DC Universe Online, you do what you can. Although at some point, they felt that they had to reinvent Aqualad once more. And this time they made him, if I recall correctly, I may be mistaken because of the show Young Justice, but from what I understand, he's supposed to be the son of the evil Black Manta. And we even have the official Aqualad set of gear in this universe online, which you see right now. We see most of it there right now. The gear comes from the Atlantis DLC. You can get the regular version of the style from the Atlantis vendor. If you want the enhanced version of the style, it's a random drop in reward boxes you get at the end of the missions. But you can also just buy it from the broker. If you really want the style and you want it right now, buy the bullet and just buy it from the broker. The style also comes with shoulders and a headpiece, but I thought it looked more like Aqualad without it. Aqualad also had these tattoos in his arms that you can sort of kind of recreate using the barbarian skin. The problem is that if you look at, obviously if you see the face, we also end up with a whole bunch of tattoo on the face, which Aqualad shouldn't have. So you make a choice. Either you get the tattoos for the arms and end up with tattoos on the face, or you tell your friend Aqualad, no tattoos for you. You decide. And next we have our friend Hawk. This is my DPS armory that I've been using lately. I have a video about Hawk and Dove. If you want to see how I achieved this look, I pretty much explained it in that video. Also, I show a few alternatives to recruit our friend Hawk. But I kind of liked this one. Obviously, Hawk shouldn't have an emblem, but I thought the emblem for the evil Hawk girl from the Dark Multiverse worked well enough, so I decided to use that. And of course, this was my DPS armory, and for my controller armory, I'm using Dove. Obviously, I'm a cheater pumpkin eater. I'm using the Hawk back piece for my Dove character, but I'm using the Dove face piece for my Hawk, so it cancels each other out. And obviously, as you saw, I'm pretty much using the reverse for each. I was using the Fire Aura for Hawk. I'm using the Arctic Aura for Dove, and the same for the emblem. Here I'm using the Black Canary emblem, but I thought it worked well enough for our Dove character. Again, I made a Hawk and Dove video not too long ago, so if you want to see more options to recreate Hawk and Dove, don't hesitate to look at that video. Also, someone was asking if we can recreate Trigon the Terrible in this universe online. The answer is yes and no. Here what you see is the official Trigon headpiece in this universe online, which, as you can see, looks nothing really like Trigon. It does have the 4 eyes, and that's about as far as it goes. I'll show you another style that has the 4 eyes, but that doesn't look like a Trigon either. For the chest piece, I'm using the Barbarian chest piece. The back piece, I'm using the Racial Ghoul Proper Cape. The bracers are the Magic's Champion. The belt is the Main Man. The pants are the War Metal pants. And the boots are the Barbed Devotee boots. And sadly, if you use the Trigon headpiece, your character cannot have hair. So when you equip the style, sadly, there's no hair for your character. Another option that I mentioned is the Lost Demon. But as you can see, again, it's a cool looking style, but it still looks nothing like Trigon. I guess you could use the Avatar of Sin horns. At some point, they started giving Trigon those huge horns, bull-like horns, in various animated series, or even in the comics as well, if I recall correctly. But the Trigon that I knew, this looks more like the Trigon that I'm familiar with. Way back when, Trigon didn't really have horns, he had more like antlers than anything else. These might be a bit big, but they're close enough to the idea or the spirit of our friend Trigon. But again, if you use the horns, you don't have the 4 eyes. It's sad, but that's how it is. So you have to make a choice. Either you use something that kind of looks a bit more like Trigon, or you use the official Trigon headpiece. You decide. You may want to use a bigger body to recreate our friend Trigon, but Trigon never was that bulky. It was always pretty much lean and mean. But I could understand if you went with a bigger body size to try to make him more imposing, more intimidating. But the leaner version of Trigon is what I've been more familiar with. And here is the evil Deathstroke, the Terminator. If you've been watching my video for some time, you know that I've made a Deathstroke tutorial. I have roughly 10-12 videos so far. As you can see, we can create a pretty darn good version of our friend Deathstroke. If you look through my videos, I have a video called Deathstroke Character Creation. I explain exactly how I created this character. There is a Deathstroke set of gear. Actually, there's two sets of gear. There's the one that you see in the display right now, which, if it wasn't for the mask, looks nothing like Deathstroke. And if you're wondering, that's where I got the mask. Basically, it's a style that you can get from the PvP style vendor. It used to be a PvP set of gear, but at some point they changed the sets of gear. They didn't change the style in the display, but nowadays you have to purchase the style from the PvP style vendor. The other Deathstroke set of gear we have in the game is the Master Mercenary. It's literally the new 52 Deathstroke style. Sadly, like most of those new 52 styles, it comes from the Prometheum log boxes. So you pretty much have little choice but to just buy it from the broker. Yes, you could get lucky and get it from the Prometheum log boxes, but there's like 800 styles in those boxes, so the odds of getting the style you want, you may as well just buy it from the broker. So this pretty much covers our video for the Teen Titans today. Obviously, I did not cover every Teen Titans ever. And also, I did not cover every look for each character. I do have a few videos about with Nightwing. I have a few Nightwing videos. I have a few Robin videos. I think I have a Cyborg video. So I have videos about the few members individually. So if you want to see more styles with those characters, just search my videos. But if you're looking for a specific style, just let me know and I'll try to add it in a future video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about DC Universe Online at this point, so if I don't answer your question right away, just search in my videos. Odds are I already made a video that answers your question. And that's going to be pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.